This is CBS 11 News at 5.
We have team coverage of how the tsunami is affecting Alaska with CBS 11's Heather Vaclav, who is back after visiting the Tsunami Warning Center in Palmer, and CBS 11's weather meteorologist Brett Shepard. Good evening, Brett.
Hey, Dave and Andrea. Here in Alaska, thankfully, we haven't had much of a problem as far as tsunamis and whatnot throughout the state. Now, we currently have no warnings in effect for the state of Alaska, but we do still have tsunami advisories in effect, and that advisory is in effect from Attu all the way over to the southeastern part of the state, and this was issued by the West Coast and Alaska Tsunami Warning Center. And now what that tsunami advisory means is that a tsunami is capable of producing strong currents or waves dangerous to persons in or very near the water. Now, the good news is significant widespread inundation is not expected for areas under the advisory you see there. Now, currents may be hazardous to swimmers, boats, and coastal structures and could continue for several hours after an initial wave arrival. Now, we will, of course, keep you up to date and let you know if there are any additional warnings or advisories for the state of Alaska. David Adrian.
Thank you, Brent, for the update tonight.
And of course, for hours, we did not know how this was going to affect our state. Continuing our coverage tonight, we head out now to CBS 11's Heather Vaclav, who spent the afternoon at the Tsunami Warning Center. And Heather, what did you learn?
Dave and Andrea, right after the earthquake struck Japan, there were no tsunami warnings or advisories issued here in Alaska. Those came later. In fact, it was the West Coast and Alaska Tsunami Warning Center in Palmer that actually issued the final magnitude level for the earthquake. Even while the ground was still shaking and Japanese agencies issued a 7.9 magnitude reading for the trembler, soon after the quake subsided, waves of tsunamis began erasing parts of several Japanese towns from the face of the earth. However, the Tsunami Warning Center decided to wait before warning Alaskans and the rest of North America about the waves possibly reaching our shores, because it said we had time to wait and see just how big the quake actually was.
So we looked at the data a little later and we found the earthquake much bigger. So we were discussing how big the earthquake was for a while. That's why we did not send a warning out, because we have time, and we also have little discussion on the size of the earthquake.
After NOAA decided it was an 8.9 magnitude earthquake, it immediately contacted the North American emergency lines. And emergency officials here in Alaska began evacuating the western Aleutian Islands. Coming up at 6, we'll talk with an Anchorage resident who is in Hawaii on vacation and experienced the tsunami on the 50th state firsthand. Dave and Andrea.
And that is Heather Vaclav reporting for us tonight. 3 different flights that were headed from the lower 48 to Japan were diverted last night and early this morning to Anchorage. According to a spokesperson for the Ted Stevens Anchorage International Airport, a few hundred passengers were on board each of the 3 flights. Those passengers were put up at hotels downtown where they are expected to stay until they fly back to the lower 48 later tonight.
We had 2 American Airlines aircraft and 1 United Airlines aircraft. 2 American and United from Chicago going to Tokyo, and the other aircraft was from JFK in New York going to Tokyo.
John Parrott says the Anchorage airport has gotten a few $1,000s in landing fees from these diverted flights.